Hello and welcome. I'm Peggy, and I welcome you today with a warm heart. And we have somebody here that has what I call common sense wisdom to share with us. And if ever we needed it, we need it now. Dr. Roger Rhoades is here with me. He is a family therapist. And Roger tells me that he's going to talk today about stress. So I just took a deep breath and I said, okay, I'm ready. Thank you, Roger.
Oh, Peggy. I'll tell you what's amazing. When you brought up the old idea of how about let's talking about stress. I want to bring us back. Not everybody in the audience is going to relate to this, but in 1960, early 1960s, try to remember the word stress as part of the vocabulary. Now today, you go to anybody, you go to a little child
They
in
all
grade
know.
school,
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
knows what
Oh, yeah.
stress is. But I'm saying 1960, walk around and say the word stress.
Are you stressed?
Are you
People would just
stressed?
kind of look at
Did
you,
you
I
ever?
guess.
Yes, it was not part of our vocabulary.
But now, wait a minute. It wasn't a perfect world. It never has been.
No.
People had illness. People had divorce.
Right.
People had loss of jobs. All of that then, just like they do now.
Right, and the word they used was overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. But they didn't use the word stress.
That's interesting. I never thought about that.
And now think of this, Peggy. Where does the word stress come from?
I don't know.
It comes from the metal industry. That's where the word stress came from. And the definition of it was, stress was how much pressure can you put on a piece of metal
Before it split.
broke. That's
right.
called a stress test.
Oh.
And we incorporated that. And it says everything about what stress is in America. It's the pressure you put on people until they break. And
Wow.
And in 1960, that was not it. We just were overwhelmed. We were not breaking. We were just full up. But as a society, we've changed. And we've got to look at what can we do as men and women to relieve the pressure. Because we are like a piece of metal. We can only take so much, Peggy. And if you keep pressing on people, and you keep pressing on people, and you keep on pressing on people, I don't care how good they are. Eventually,
You're going to break.
they're going to break. And that's how we're operating. We're pressuring people from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed, day after day after day. And this is one of the things we're seeing out there is medical issues. Did you think we would ever have so many medical issues that we have now? Well, this is the result of people who've been put under pressure as they've gotten older. And so they start having bone problems, they start having brain problems, they start having stress issues all the time. You know, it wasn't like you said, in 1960, it wasn't like people didn't have mental issues. But think about the level of mental issues today. Whew.
Okay, how have we gotten into this mess? And how can we get out?
Good question. First of all, we have to own it. You know, people want to ignore that one of the things that we like to think of as Americans is we can handle it. Mm-hmm. I can handle it. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot of weight on you. I can handle it. That's a lot of weight on women. That's a lot of weight on men. That's a lot of weight on the family. That's a lot of weight on the marriage. And in all those areas, people are breaking every day. They can't handle it. And they're just being run over. And that's not good. And we've got to look and say, wait a minute, what do we need to do? And I love the author, Stephen Covey, who wrote The Habits of highly effective people. Okay? And in that, his number one point was people who lose control bring stress in. So the number one issue that he saw was control. If you can control your life, your stress goes down. If you can self-regulate. See, back in the day, I always hate to go back in the day, but there's some really good lessons. You and I were talking. On Wednesday, that was Meatloaf Wednesday. Every Wednesday, Meatloaf Wednesday.
People had a routine more than they do.
We were a society of routines. There was a time to get up. There was a time to go to work. You know, for the most part, everybody worked banker's hours, 8 to 5. You know, but then every month we were creeping a little bit more. Well, if you're a good employee, you'll work 8 to 6. Oh, if you're a better employee, you'll get there at 7 and you'll stay to 7. And people started creeping, using up more of their time and giving in, trying to achieve. So one of the things people hate to recognize is what people in what country work more than anywhere else?
Right here.
Yes.
In the USA.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
We're the most overworked people. And we're supposed to be a group of the smartest. And that's because we've given up our control for achievement. We've made that bargain, Peggy. I'll let you control, and I'm going to hope that you're going to respect me and take care of me. And you can see where they've gone. America said, I don't care. You know, if you fall down, we'll just replace you, and we'll get somebody else. And so people have gotten into this. So one of the things that is very important for stressed people is helping them regain control and create healthy habits. See, when people have a healthy habit, and think of this, when you think about the Amish up in Pennsylvania, do you think a lot of stress?
No.
Wow. Do you think, oh, that crowd's got a lot of problems. Now, no cars, no mechanical equipment,
That's right.
you know, but they are excessively routined. They dress the same, they eat the same. And I loved when Oprah Winfrey went to one of the Amish places and interviewed one of the Amish people. And you know the word that came out his mouth, he wasn't really thinking, he was just responding. And the word he used was commitment. I mean, not commitment, but I feel...
You're stressed right now,
yeah,
Roger.
I'm stressed right now because I can't remember the word. But it was just amazing. She said of all the people she had ever interviewed, he was the first person who had ever answered it this way. That he was happy. Contentment, that was the word. He said, I'm content. Wow. And what people have traded for contentment. They're no longer content, but they're in, and I love, I don't know, I want to say it's George Carlin or somebody like that who said, the problem with winning the rat race is you're still a rat. And I love that. That's it. See, we've got people, I got to get in that rat race. And what you are, you're just a rat. So what we want to do is we want to help people get back control of their lives. We want to help people be in control. And so that's why I brought the number one thing, okay? And this is a day timer.
Okay.
And you can go to any store out there, they're not hard to find, and you can find you a day timer. And that's the beginning of being in control. That's the beginning of scheduling. And one of the things, and being in the right habit. The first thing you need to do on your day timer is block out 8 hours at night. because
To
scientists
relax. Yeah.
say the average American, to be healthy, needs 8 hours of sleep.
Most of us would laugh at you.
Yes, yeah, right. Because it's hard to perform and run low on gas, emotional gas, if I'm only getting 6 hours or 5 hours. It's just fascinating. And people with their electric gadgets. See, I would have to turn that off and set that down. I love how I was reading an article about schools and giving attendance at schools. One teacher had come up with a way. When the students came in, they took their iPhone and put it in a slot to prove that they were in the class. Wow, that proves they're in class. Plus, they can't use it because it's in the slot. Mm-hmm. What kind of class are they having? Boy, they're learning. Okay. Things are going on. He's not competing. So if I've got here and I say, wait a minute, I'm going to sleep every day for 8 hours, okay? And so I begin the process of recreating, because we've lost it.
We have to learn to say no sometimes.
Yeah, and we've got to create habits. Remember when people had holiday routines? This is what we're doing every time on this date. Remember that? I don't hear that anymore. If somebody shows up, everybody goes, woohoo, they're here, oh, it's great. And so people go to holidays and they're miserable. They go in and say, oh, I can't believe it. Why? Because they had to get out of the little routine they had to go in and travel and eat food they're not used to and live lives that they're not used to. And what's worse than a strange bed? Wow, if I only get a little bit of sleep, how important is a bed? Oh, that's another thing. Have you noticed, Peggy? Think of 1960 and advertisements. How many advertisements did you see for mattresses in 1960? Don't even remember one. But man, you turn on the TV today and you're going to see 15 in 1 hour. Oh, do this one, it bends.
Okay,
do this
Roger,
one, it vibrates.
All right.
Right?
Okay.
And so we're setting ourselves up to fail. That's what I'm really saying today.
We've already done that.
Yes, and so you can't it's like exercising. You can't get back in shape sitting on your hiney, watching TV. You got to turn off TV. You got to get up. You got to run around the streets a couple of times. And people say, I don't want to do that. That's hard. Yeah, but you'll live longer. You'll be healthier. Oh, and that food, that's not good for you. If you eat junk food, you're going to have more problems and you're going to die early. Oh, I don't want to. It's so easy for me to stop by and get me this food. But it's crud. See, again, back in the day, there was no such thing as junk food. I can remember when I was little, going out to eat, we couldn't go out there. There wasn't any place to go out to eat. No. If you ate someplace, it had to be at the bowling alley, or something. No. And I can remember, I'm showing my age here, when I had my first pizza.
Oh, well.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I said, what is this? I'd never seen anything like it. They said, it's a pizza. And we went in, and we all sat in these tables, these old picnic tables, and ate pizza.
Okay, Roger, I agree with everything you say. We have lost control.
Yes.
All right, that's fine. I agree with you.
Good.
And most people out there will be sitting there and they'll think he's right. But how do you get it back? And I don't know, I've lost control. Where are we? How much time do we have? We're going to go to a break, right? And then we'll come back.
There we go.
Stay with us.